Good, man. How's it going?
Going well, man. It's man. It's been a while since I seen you. It's probably a year. The last time I was in Texas.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Texas Speedway.
Yeah. Well, I saw you when I was down at we went to dinner.
Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah. It's just a shame that that festival didn't have a repeat because that was an incredible weekend.
That was a weekend we still look back on as like one of the coolest festivals we've gotten to just be a small part of. I mean, that was a really, really cool spot. I enjoyed that a lot, man. That was a just the people out there too. Like the crew, everybody was cool, fun to work with, easy going. You don't see that at festivals a lot.
Yeah. That that was a great introduction to the Texas music scene in Texas for me, and it was like I had never been to a speedway, and it was enormous. It was an experience that I definitely never will forget, and that lineup was incredible.
Dude, it was impeccable the whole week. Um, Even leading up to it, getting to go out there and watch them set up stuff and all their production and all the people coming in at 3 in the morning to set up lights for the next day's headliner. Like the way the whole process was really cool to watch from the outside point of view.
Yeah, and at the end of the night, you were playing sets at Zach Bryan's dad's camp, right?
Yeah, yeah, we went to Dwayne's and hung out and we played and man, that was a good night. I guess at some point during that, Randy Travis had showed up. And he didn't get out of the truck or something, but he pulled up in the truck and they rolled their windows down, listened for a while, and never got to meet him. But apparently, I got to play for him, so that was cool.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. Yeah, he was on stage the one night, and they asked if he wanted to go out to make a an appearance, and he said no. But the second night he was there, they they did push him out. But there were
Yeah, that
there were
was
so
cool.
many yeah there were so many people taking pictures with him and everything, and I was just like I was like I got to say I
Yeah,
saw him.
right. That's the thing that some people don't realize is like, because I'll be talking to people about how I know Ty Myers and Hudson, those guys, and they're like, "Oh, dude, where's all the pictures?" And I'm like, "You don't take pictures with those guys.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like we're hanging out, have a good time. It's like if me and my buddy were hanging out, and you don't just walk up and kill the vibe. Like it kills the vibe. You don't
Oh
do that.
yeah.
You just hang out and enjoy it. Because then people see cameras and they're like, okay, I got to watch what I'm doing because it takes one video to ruin anybody's career nowadays. So
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't pull out cameras when you're hanging out with people like that.
Dude, I agree 100%. Especially on like a tour bus when people are like, "Oh, you're on their tour bus." I'm like, "Yeah," and they're like, "Well, how come you didn't take any pictures or videos?" I'm like, "Cause it's their house." You know what I mean? Like, I've seen it. I've seen it with my friends, man. As somebody being like, "Hey, I'm on," and there's just a genuine like, "Hey, thanks for coming out," hug, and then you got the significant other watching at home, going like, "Hey, who was that?" And I've seen it enough times where I'm just like you say, like, and then live in the moment. Like you should act like you should be there because you're there.
Yeah, absolutely. You shouldn't be like FaceTiming your friends on like Randall King's bus with all these dudes. Like you should be living the moment, enjoying it because tomorrow you're going to wake up. And it's not the case for a lot of people, but for me, tomorrow I wake up and I'm sitting there going, man, how lucky am I that I got to, even hang out with those guys and do all the stuff I've gotten to do. And so it's definitely cool for me to I always put my phone down and just like live in the moment.
Yeah, that's at your age. That's like very rare, and it's crazy to think like that. Some people just like can't disconnect.
Yeah, I try to. It's hard for me because I am younger and I have so much social media going on, and I have to do this and I have to do TikToks and all the fun. I mean, all the stuff we have to do, and it's like, you know, once a month I try to have like 2 or 3 days where I do like nothing on social media. That's what I try to do to just give myself a break from everything. It's how I stay, grounded in what I do and make sure I don't burn myself out. Because I mean, you know how it is posting on social media. You sit there worrying about what's the next post going to be, what's the next,
Yeah.
what do we have coming, and then what do we have to do next, and then it for us it is a job, but it's also like, okay, how can we make this job be more, I mean, less stressful on us to where we can still enjoy doing it.
Yeah. And man, I can't even like fathom like the because you're still doing school and stuff like that on top of everything, and on top of being a nationally touring musician as well.
Yeah, that's so a couple weeks ago for the last week of the school year, they always have a talent show. And last year I showed up acoustic and played the song, and it went great. But this year I was like, hey, I called the teacher that put it on. I was like, hey, would it be cool if I brought my band this year? And so we brought our whole band to this high school, talent show, and and played, and it was really fun. The guys had a blast. It was cool.
That's awesome. So are your so you actually go to like a physical school for the most part, or
I I do virtual,
okay,
but they have it's through the school in Sand Springs where I live, so they pretty much just say, hey, get all your work done by this date, and I usually have it done. It's helped me just on the weekends. I When I'm not on the road, I'll work all through the weekends, and then I try to get about a month ahead. It's where I try to be. Sometimes it's not that easy, but
yeah,
yeah, I stay on top of it, and I made almost straight A's last year. I think I only had like one or two that weren't, but I try to. That's a big part for me is education, staying smart, having options.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I would say, you definitely have a really good head on your shoulders, and I've met you a bunch of times, and it's funny is like if somebody didn't tell me how old you were, I would definitely think because it's just your demeanor and just how mature you are. Like I'm pretty sure the first time we're hanging out, we're like getting you drinks because we had no idea
Yeah,
you
yeah,
were
we
that
were
young.
there in Fort Worth, and everybody's like, "Hey, y'all want beers?" And I'm like, "I'm okay." And my dad doesn't drink, so like, no, thank you. But
Yeah, that was fun too. Are you 16 or 17 now?
just turned 17, May 5th. So last month I turned 17.
Nice. Now is it hard to like not want it to like speed up to where like you're 21 and there's no restrictions on anything, or you just enjoying just the pace?
Hey, I enjoy being young, man. It's
Yeah.
it's one of those things where like everybody through their 15, 16, 17-year-old years, like they want to be older. They want to do the stuff that they're told they can't do because they're not old enough. So you see all the kids today that they used to be smoking, but now they're vaping, and they instead of drinking Bud Lights, they're drinking Trulies, and it's like it hasn't changed. They're just smarter about hiding it today, you know. So for me, it's just I take it all in, and I know that I'm a quote unquote old soul, so I kind of just enjoy being young while I can, and I uh, I really just I try not to live too fast on the road, which is hard not to do.
Yeah.
Um, I enjoy being young while I can. I know one day it's gonna come. I've never been the guy that likes to go out and try to party and try to because I've been in the position where I could have drank it with hung out with all those guys, and I've always been just more of I'm gonna hang out in the corner and sit down and relax at the party than be like in the middle doing shots off the table kind of guy.
Yeah. Dude, that's a lot of people don't realize like I'm pretty much the same way. I'm not antisocial. It's just if you want to talk, I'll be there. I'll be there waiting. But I'm not like the like walking up to people. And I know I've just never been like, hey man, what's your story? What's going on? Like It's kind of like,
Right. And it's always, especially like parties and stuff, like everybody's always drinking, and it's always like one of those things, and they're always like, "Hey man, like nobody's around. You can have a drink if you want to." And I'm like, I enjoy being in control of everything I do. Um and that's another part for me where it's like I just enjoy remembering stuff I do. you know.
yeah,
So,
yeah, dude, that was 100%. Because man, I did not have that mindset when I was your age. Like I was just like,
yeah. Well, I don't want to be like throwing chairs off bars one day. It's just not my goal in
yeah.
life.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's a that's a good goal to strive for. But yeah, like it is, and it's just very refreshing to hear. Just that, and I've met your dad a bunch of times, and man, it was so cool when he was texting me that you guys are at the Boys in Oklahoma, and just
Yeah.
just to know, like people that would have been waiting for that forever, they got it and got to experience that again.
Yeah. I mean, that's the cool part for us, that like I never got to see a ragweed show. Um Obviously I've seen Turnpike, I've seen Boland, I've seen The Divide, I've seen LaRue. I mean, I've seen everybody else on the lineup, but it was cool. And I think he went 3 nights of it. I went 2. Um, and I think we're going to be going back out to Waco to see him too. So that's going to be fun. They, but yeah, I mean, I grew up in a bar. My grandparents owned a pool room in a bar that was also a music venue. So I knew some of the greatest musicians I'd ever heard of that just they didn't make it to the next level because they couldn't get out of their own way. And that's, I guess, something that's always scared me in life, that knowing that I grew up with these guys that have so much talent, but they couldn't put down the bottle, or they couldn't do this, and this. And it just ended up like, I think it kind of scared me. I saw what it did to people. I saw
Yeah.
what it did to people's lives. And I would never want that for me, or for anybody in my family, at least, to have to deal with me like that. Um, so that also helps.
Yeah. Yeah, like when I was reading into your story, your like origin story. It's like, how could you not either become a musician or a professional pool player?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do both all the time. Um, I mean, last night I stayed at the pool hall till 1 in the morning playing pool. We'll go up there, and when we're in town, that's where I am. It just Pool for me helps me escape everything else, because when I'm playing, there's nothing else in the world. There's nothing. It's just me, the table, and it's such a good escape from everything. I put down my phone, I don't look at it, and I just play pool. And I do it for, I mean, I 8 hours, sometimes 12, 15 hours, like, I mean, straight. So, I mean, it's very, for me, therapeutic to just be out. It's the only time really I get out of the house. So it's good for me to get out, be around other people that aren't music people, and have to worry about all that, and just play. Just sit there and play. It's what I love.
Yeah, it definitely, because it can be fast paced, but man, you gotta line up your shots. You gotta focus. You really gotta like dial it in. Like I had a pool table growing up, and it's just, you know what I mean. Like you can't play pool and like watch TikToks and
Yeah.
it's definitely
You can't be worried about what's going on in the business while you're playing. Like, it's impossible to, or else you're not gonna, like, and it's taught me a good playing, because I toured playing pool forever. I played pool for, I think, 2 years on the road, playing in tournaments and stuff before music. And it it taught me a lot of lessons about music. Like, a lot of that's carried over into the music, of just being patient, working hard, the growth over time is a big part. And I think that's really helped my career too, being down to earth, and just being realistic about things.
yeah,
You're not going to be a pro pool player overnight. I mean, it just doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, and it it just reminds me. You ever see the movie Pool Hall Junkies?
I have not. I don't
Oh,
think.
it's a great movie with Christopher Walken, and I don't know. It's definitely like because I never knew like you could be a professional pool player. You know,
Right.
you think of a guy making money playing pool was the hustler and scratching
Hmm.
and be like, oh, I don't know if I want to play for double or nothing, and but
Oh yeah.
that's cool. Like that you have that just to because like it can I couldn't imagine doing what you're doing at your age now, and like you said, like the way how you've done it, it's like you say, you keep you grounded. It's not like you went on TikTok and you played a song and it went super viral, and next thing you know, like you've been thrown into the world of just I've seen some people get eaten alive, and just you don't know how to work a crowd. How like why don't these people love me? Everybody loves me on the internet, and then you go to a crowd and remember people are just like, hey man, we didn't know you were going to be here, and we don't want you here. It's just
Yeah. Yeah,
stuff
that's
like that.
that's the tough part. It's like you show up to these shows and for us it's cool because we just did a run in Nebraska, Wisconsin, Indiana, and Illinois. And we played all those shows, and all the people loved us. Everybody in the bar was they were paying attention. So I mean, singing along. We played a big festival out there, and we have a decent fan base up that way. And then we come back home for these acoustic shows, and I can't hear myself over the bar, and it's
Mm.
like, wow. Like I get that kind of respect all the way in Wisconsin and Nebraska, but I come to my hometown and the people don't care. And so that's what's driven us to not be in Oklahoma as much. People are always like, "When's your next full band show in Oklahoma?" And I'm like, "We play here twice a year, and if you want to come to a show, go get a ticket, come see us, because
Yeah.
that's just the way it is here." There's so much music around Tulsa that's just there's no point in trying to play here all the time. I'd rather be in Texas playing because there's Texas is huge.
Yeah.
I'd rather be in Texas or I'd rather be up north, playing shows, Colorado, Nebraska. I'd rather be up there playing. I mean, we've made our way through Arizona, New Mexico, Nebraska. I mean, everywhere. And I enjoy doing that more than just being in Oklahoma.
Yeah, it is weird. Like, have you had anything like your friends? It like when you kind of you do something and you start getting some. It's weird how like with the whole TikTok thing. I thought I would like boost my friends, and I'm gonna have everybody listen to your music, and it's just like it's some kind of like support like dwindles off. It's just almost like, man, I really thought I'd be surrounded by the people I want to be surrounded by. And it's just weird how like that doesn't happen. Like when you say you play a show at your hometown, you should be revered. Like I was talking like the Taylor Honeycutt, and I was like, there's not
Hmm.
parades for when you come home, or you know what I mean? Like you gotta, man, it's just wild because like if
Yeah. And the people here haven't seen us like I think the problem is all the people here knew me before I was anything, so they still look at me that way.
yeah
Just some kid with some weird dream of playing music, some hobby, and like I'll go to the pool hall all the time, but the pool hall is where I have my friends. My friends aren't 17 years old, as you can imagine. Most of my friends are, two divorces deep and they're 45 years old. And, it's one of those things. I just get along better with people that aren't 17 years old. I mean, it's weird. I don't know how or why. I've just grown up that way.
yeah
And like, I'll go to the pool hall and hang out and like, nobody cares. Nobody cares that I'm there. I mean, some people would be like, "Oh, hey, Ty's here," but they know me as a pool player. They don't know me as a musician. So Like it's definitely one of those weird things. Like we come home and nobody cares. Like you would think that after doing all the cool stuff we've done. I mean, I've gotten to sing a song, at Billy Bob's. I've gotten to play shows in my hometown for a sold out show at Kane's Ballroom with Shane Smith and the Saint. Like I've done cool things, and it's like we'll go back and it's like you get all these cool shows, and then you go right back to where you started.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a weird feeling because like when my band we were doing our thing, you'd play for huge crowds, then you just go to work,
Mhm.
and people will talk about their weekend of like treating their lawn and cutting grass, and they'd be like, "Well, what'd you do?" I played a big show for some lot of people, and man, it was great. And then people were like, "Oh yeah, cool." You know,
Yeah,
I always
they're
get
like,
like,
oh, that's a cool thing.
yeah, "Aren't you a little old to be playing music?" I'd be like, I'm like, man, bet you're fun at parties. I get that a lot when people are like, why? I don't get why would you still play guitar when you're older? I'm like, because dude, it's like if I didn't have that thing, like I would have like nothing to look forward to. Like the first, like I remember like snow days. People wanted to go out and like play in the snow when we were like in high school. I wanted to go home and play guitar. That's all I wanted to do. It's like I pretty much my whole life. It's probably like I ain't got no kids. I'm not married. Like I wanted to be like someone call me up and be like, "Hey, can you be here?" And I'm like, "Yep, see, you. We're gonna go play." Because
Right.
music. I thought music was gonna be my life, and then my buddy used to. Man, he used to. They were a pretty big band. They had a song in a. I mean, Daredevil didn't do that good, but they had a song in there. They had a song on a video game. They were doing great, local guys. And then he was, they had all these tours. They're signed to this label, and he was their manager. And then I remember walking in the mall to I think it was like Banana Republic, and there's this dude in a like sweater vest. It is steaming hot outside, and he's folding pants, and he turns around, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing here? I thought the band broke up, man. Just like that, he was back. And he's like, like I got out of high school and started managing bands, and it's just like that whole like gig type thing where you can be flip flopped and just struggling just out of nowhere. And he's unfortunately not alive anymore. But I mean, he had his Facebook profiles of who he was hanging out with. Like Slash was his boss for a while, Alice Cooper, and all these like big. But then next thing you know, he'd be like, man, I got to sell these comic books and everything I found in these shops I've been on tour with because the tour dried up, and that really that's what scared me. It's like when you would see a big band and they'd be out signing, and then they'd be like, "Hey man, we're trying to like get some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Got some change?" Like, and that's when you find out like if you're not independent and you get that big you get that big contract, that record deal, you have to pay that back. That is a loan. Which
Yeah, that's not them giving you that money
yeah,
at all.
yeah, I know it blew my mind. Like, and I'm like, what? He's yeah, we don't make a cent until we get that. We make that back to him. I'm like, dude, that is, seeing one of your favorite bands just like beg for bread and stuff, or even a place to
Yeah.
stay. I'm like, man, maybe it's not so
Yeah,
bad.
it's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, you would think that like you get the record deal, and you get some money, you pay some back, and everyone has a good old time. Everyone loves music, and it is, man, once you get those collars and ties involved and you get to see that ugly side, it's just like, man, like music's supposed to be fun, right? We should, exchanging, especially at the end of the night, everyone's like, what's the, to me, like, you're a musician. There is no better feeling when especially, dude, I couldn't imagine being able to share a stage with like Shane Smith, like,
Yeah. Yeah, walking out, like for the encore at Kane's, we did Long Hot Summer Day. I mean, like that feeling of being there with Shane and the drop tines and like it all. I took a step back by Zach, and I was just like, dude, this is. I just stood there. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't imagine walking out to that every single night, you
Yeah.
know. And I know where Shane came from because I saw him play his first show at Canes, and there wasn't more than, I don't think, 200 people there. Um, and you know, to see them sell it out, I mean, I think they sold out within like a day. Pre-sales, they were quick. I know they went quick.
Yeah.
Um, it was it was emotional for me to see those guys do it because they've worked so hard for it. I mean, they've worked harder than most people in the business has.
Yeah.
Because I remember, I mean, talking 10, 12, 13 years ago, they would go in the airport. Him and Bennett would just go play for tips around, they would hand out CDs that they burned to anybody that would take them. And to know that, you know, all that worked out for them and it paid off is really cool for me because I know that the work that we're going to put in, that we are and have already put in,
Yeah.
is paying off, and we're doing it the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. And think like they lost almost everything in that bus fire, and still to rebuild from that, like how, just like you could imagine sitting on the side of the road and watching everything you love just turn into cinders and ashes. And it just like, man, like to be like, we're still going to do this is, you know what I mean? Like at that time, it has to be like I couldn't imagine it if I knew.
Yeah, we went to the show 2 nights later. They were on the way, or the next night, not the day of the bus fire, the next day, because they were on the way to a show, and then the next day they were on their, I think they were in Oklahoma City, and we were at that show, and it was wild that I mean, a lot of bands, when their entire rig catches fire and just everything disappears, you would think that they're like, okay, tour has to get canceled. We're going to move these shows. Sorry, everybody. We're going to make a post about it, you know. But they're like, no, I mean, our openers, hey, can we use y'all's gear? They're like, absolutely. They're like, cool, show's on. I mean, like, that didn't stop them at all. You know, they knew that work had to get done at the end of the day, and they did it. I mean,
yeah, they're definitely like one of the bands that, like, if people say, oh yeah, I like watching your country versus metal channel, and I would just be like, well, what's your favorite Shane Smith and the Saints song? And if they ever go, who? I'm like, oh man, no, we need to fix this right now, because it's hearing that, and the fact that, like, you look, you know, like you go into the iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, and it says country, to me still like blows my mind. Of like, because when people say they don't like country, they're not talking about that. They never heard that, and that's always been like
because it's all labeled as it.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. And I was having a conversation with somebody else, and somebody says like when you need like another, like a genre, you know, like metal's got like shoegazer, and you got this, and you got your hardcore and everything, and like with a lot of these country, that's just it, country. You know, because when I tell people country, they think like Nashville, dog, beer, truck, you know, like what? I don't
Pretty
know.
girl on a dirt road. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I mean, there's like Shane's, they're rock and roll. They're a rock and roll band with a fiddle. I
yeah,
mean, they have some songs like "Feather in the Wind" that are country-esque, but then you have songs like Oklahoma City, and you know, there's so many others that there's no way that could be classified as just country. And I think that's where people get the misconception that, like, if they don't like Morgan Wallen, they won't like anything we do. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. Like, everything we do is in a whole nother category of pretty girl, dirt road, drinking beer with my friends. You know,
yeah,
like, and I'm not saying there isn't that in the Texas scene. Is, you know, there's a lot of that in the Texas scene that's not as Nashville and poppy, but it's still like, I'm gonna go down, drink a beer with all my buds at the local bar. And it's like, dude, like, can you not write anything better than that? Like, it's only been done a million times. And
yeah,
I'm not throwing shade to anybody that does that. But like, I write, and you know BJ, and BJ's a mentor of mine. I love everything I've ever done's been because of Shane, BJ, Lynn Clark Green. Those guys are guys I've looked up to my whole life. And they write songs that mean something to people. It's not Pretty Girl Dirt Road. You know, it's I'm gonna rip your heart out with this song I wrote, but it's got 125 beats per minute, so it sounds really cool and it's a fast pace and it sounds like a fun song. But I'm really talking about my drug addiction that I went through, and like those songs are like they mean something to people, and that's what I love about songwriting.
Yeah, like and those three, it's, if you want to be a singer songwriter and write music that's authentic and will move people, and man, that's a Mount Rushmore right there. Because like I've never gotten that from music until like one of the biggest things was I put on BJ's last album and took a ride, and all of his Instagram posts from the last 18 months made sense. It was like a scrapbook, like a picture of time, like a soundtrack of his life. And it was like having a conversation with him in the car when he's not there, and it was like weird. You know, it was like because I never, you know, love Metallica, love all those guys, but like you don't get anything from like personal. Why like you're not going to listen to that and feel like you know the artist in some way. And man, to me, like that's the one thing I've loved finding with like your music and those guys' music is like you can really like have a relationship with your music and feel like I know you without even meeting you, which is just a wild thing. You know, normally like for me to know an artist, you'd have to write a book and I'd have to read it.
Yeah, it's that's I mean, like you said, it's you feel like you know them, like, and you have even if you've never met them, you feel like you know their whole life story. Like even going back, I use them a lot in examples just because of such a huge foundation of what I've done. And you look back on songs like "Losing Side of 25," and then you go back, you look at Wolves, and then you skip ahead and you go like Long Haul, okay, and then you go to I mean, to skip through their catalog is just like sometimes I'll do it and I'm like, why am I crying? But I'm sitting there and I'm looking at my child. That was my childhood. My childhood wasn't Kids Bop. I mean, I probably listened to Veggie Tales when I was like 2 or 3, but I mean, like I was screaming these songs. I didn't know what they meant, but I knew that I felt something in them. I knew they meant something because I saw rooms full of people yelling them back. And so, I mean, that's there's no kind of energy like that. I mean, American Aquarium, their live show's insane. I
Yeah.
mean, them and Shane's. I've gotten to be at the last 2 Red Rocks shows, and those are some of the best shows I've ever seen of Shane's. And I think I saw him about 20 times last year. And that's a lot to see a band. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't understand how many times that is. But we did a lot of festivals with them, and it was like it never got stale. Like you can go see 100 of their shows, and it's just impeccable. Like they kick into Adeline, and you feel the room start shaking, and you see all these people just yelling back the top of their lungs. Like it just you can't beat that feeling in a room at all.
Yeah. And that's what BJ says. Like, if you don't get it when you listen to it, you know, and if you don't get it at a show, man, that's just you'll never get it. But man, like hearing their music and then seeing them live, like I remember like I made a post. I said something on a podcast. I said, man, I said like BJ from American Crane, like he has lasers in his eyes. Like I was like right up front, and he was just like so like like
He's zoned. It's weird.
dude, I don't even think he knows where he is.
Yeah,
That's not the same guy you're talking to, you know, like, hey man, what's going on? But
yeah.
I just could feel like it just man, if he was a rogue military officer, I think he could throw a coup and take over a government because he is Just like, okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna have a
Yeah.
great time.
He goes he gets in that show mode, and it's fun because like we know BJ, like he super cool guy, hang out before the show, we're laughing and hanging out. But once it gets like once he puts those in ears in and he locks in, like it's a different person. And
Uh,
I get that way too. Like people will come up to me right after, like as soon as I walk off stage, and I'm almost like pissed off for a second. It's weird. Like you there's no like I mean you understand how it is performing. Like
yeah,
there's just you put so much into a show, and then you get off stage, you just want to like there's this energy that just like I just did that, you know. And it's really I it's incredible to watch BJ go because he I think he goes back in his mind to the times he wrote the song. He's like, I was broke and poor and pissed off at the world because nobody cared about me. And now all these people sing my songs, and that showed old Aunt Barbara, you know, back home who I am. You know, and I think he goes back in time to those times, and I think that is a reason he's so good at what he does because you feel it. It's
yeah,
not just something he sings; like you feel what he sings, and that's really cool.
yeah. Like I I would never not have my phone off at a BJ or an American Aquarium show. You just know. Like once you seen it, you like there's this is our time together. And man, like the last show I saw him, I knew he that the people in front of me just wouldn't stop talking, and I was getting mad. And I saw him look up a couple times, and I was like, oh, I could just tell. I'm like, man. And they didn't. I don't think they had an idea, but I was just like, am I going to see that side of BJ? Where because I've heard stories,
He's
and
he can get there. I've seen it happen. He'll throw it out there. He's like, y'all, if y'all are gonna talk and disrupt these people, because the thing that BJ, I mean, all the people that pay money to come see your show, and you want everybody to know that they got their money's worth. But when there's somebody's Aunt Helen that her friends told her to come to the show, and so she didn't really know what she was getting into. She thought she was going to come party and talk with all her friends while there's a band on stage. He's going to yell at her because she's like, "Hey, all these people paid to see this show, and you don't care. So go somewhere else and let me play for these people." And I love that. I love that truly because I'm a if you're a true music enjoyer, you will appreciate that.
yeah. That have you had anything like that happen at any of your shows where you just have to be like,
Um, I was playing at a little place called the Nos Bar one time. I was playing acoustic run, and these two ladies got into it in the middle of the show, and I'm like, "Hey, if y'all want to fight, there's a whole parking lot outside. I recommend y'all do it somewhere else. Let these people enjoy the show." That came out. I mean, there was only three people there to see me. Everybody else didn't care. But like, let these people enjoy the show. Like, come on. You guys are two grown women. Like, can you do it somewhere else? Like, not ruin everybody's night?
yeah,
Appreciate that. It was, yeah. But like, it stuff happens at shows. I don't think I can't remember of any big shows. Can you that we've had really anything like that happen that people are just being jerks to all the fans? Um, we did just play in our hometown a show, and there was these ladies that were sitting behind a row of our fans that I could hear them over the speaker, and but I said something in the mic like in the middle of the song, like like these ladies won't be quiet or something, just something in the middle of it, and everybody died laughing, and they were sitting there looking at everybody like, why are these people all laughing? Because they weren't listening, obviously, and it was funny. I like to I don't like to like confront people. I like to more be like a hey, all these people are here laughing not with you, but at you for being a jerk. You know. I like to emotionally kill people rather than, you know, physically have to fight them.
yeah,
So
yeah. I get that. I'm a big fan of that too. The old psychological warfare. It's a lot more fun.
yeah.
It's fun to be clever,
Yeah,
especially
that's
if
what I
you're
like about songs.
yeah, oh yeah, dude, that's
You
another
you
great
can
thing.
hurt people. you can hurt people with music. And
Yeah.
I learned that young. I like that.
Yeah. And, that's definitely like it's a power too. Like if you, man, you've been involved in this since forever, and to be able, and you know some of the best people in the game, like you said, like yeah, you can really like just make people think in a certain way, and kind of like
Yeah,
mind
you can
control.
save people. Yeah, I mean, it's not just hurting. I mean, you say we put out a song called "Christmas All Alone," and I didn't want to put it out. I thought it was too sad, and then I realized, oh yeah, I'm a BJ Barham fan. Nothing is too sad, right? Um, I realized that people need to hear the song. I've been playing it live at shows, and I saw just these grown men that you could tell like their children never even seen them cry, but I saw them cry when I played that song, and I knew I had to put it out. And like that thing of people coming up to me saying, "Hey, thank you for playing that song." Like I know like that helped. And that's wild. I mean, to me that my music and these things that I write down on a piece of paper could save somebody's life.
Yeah.
That is there's no money you can pay somebody to do that. And as a songwriter, every now and then I'll still come across new people that like I'll listen to their song and it messes me up inside. Like it's a weird emotional thing that like I'll hear one of their songs I've never heard before, and I'm like, it's funny. I'll show it to my parents, and I'm like, this is the perfect song. Like this song, the way it's written, the story it tells, the way that it says all these things, blah 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 blah, without saying these things is it's perfect, and you can't replicate that kind of thing. And then they're like, oh, it's a good song. Like I could tell they're not trying to hurt my feelings, but I'm like, this is literally like a genius level songwriting. Recently, I got into Stephen Wilson Jr. because of BJ. I heard him talking about him at a meet and greet, and I was like, okay, I should go hook him up. And I heard that song "Father's Son," and I was like, wow, like the fact that he's telling this story, and I've known about Stephen for a long time as a writer, and I've known his story. Like he was a chemist. He did all this stuff. He worked for Mars, the candy bar, and he would do stuff there. And he growing up, he was a fighter because his dad wanted him to box, and it like his whole story. And once you know that, and you feel like you know somebody like that, to hear them tell it through a song is just like it'll crush a human being. It's weird.
What's what's one of your songs that you feel like that's the one that does that to somebody?
Um, I have a song called "Laugh as I Bleed" that's not out yet,
Mm.
and I tell the story every show that it's a very it's a songwriter song. It's not like a band song kind of thing. It's like BJ has "Unfortunate Kind." You know, Shane has songs like "All the Way." I hope that could be ours, and it's I mean it's just a deep song. And I tell the story how we were on our way to back home from a show, and my aunt had been admitted into the hospital, and it was unfortunately the last song that we ever got to play for her. And if I'd known that, I probably would have played something else because it's a really sad. The first time I played it for her, she broke down crying. But like looking back, I'm like, okay, this was meant to be. The song, the story, the way it lines up, and the way that people resonate for it, and it'll soon be getting recorded in the next year. But it's kind of in my back pocket. Like if I want to shut a room up and get them to cry a little bit, I always have that one.
It's it's crazy like that, like like you like that's your Joker card for like
Right. Every artist has like their ace in the hole, and that's kind
yeah.
of like when I have the songs like Baton Rouge that are like very storytelling, like it. uses cool phrases and words I should have said that are like, I tied a stone to my dreams and watched them drown. Like, no 15, 14-year-old kid should be writing songs like that.
Yeah.
But like for me, the songs that do it are the ones that can really hit people in the face, and they don't even know it's coming. That's my favorite.
Yeah. Just that the twist, and then the twist of the knife. And
Yeah, because I mean, unfortunate kind for BJ. Like he starts the song out. People who don't know the song are usually like, "Oh, this is a happy song," and then it gets that third or fourth verse, and he's like, "And you got sick. Things just weren't the same." And then they're like, "Oh, like it hurts
yeah,
to hear him sing the song." And
yeah,
I mean, you can hear a pen drop. It's same thing with John Moreland. I don't know if you've dove into John very much, but he's one of my favorite songwriters as well. He lives here in Tulsa. It's weird I get to say I know him, but like everybody I talk to that's a songwriter is like John's the songwriter. Um, BJ turned me on to John. That's how I figured out who John Moreland really was, and like having that level of songwriters in my hometown is weird to say, but yeah, the first time we played Mercury Lounge in Tulsa, John came out. He came out and hung out with his friends and watched the show, and it's it's a weird community that we've built because like we'll meet these people from North Carolina or from Arizona, and they're like, "Oh, you live in Tulsa? So does so and so," and then the next week we meet so and so on accident, and it it's really weird the way the universe like puts people in your life like that.
yeah. I was talking to a guy from work. He doesn't. He's older. He doesn't do TikTok or any of that. And he started getting into like, and people ask, like, hey, what are you listening to? And I put him in towards like them Dirty Roses, and he was like, dude, love them, and like Muscadine, Bloodline. And then like out of the blue, he's like, hey man, there's this artist, man. He's got great songs, great songwriting. And he's a bigger guy. I'm like, big guy, and he's like, yeah, big guy. And I'm going through, and I'm like, first thought was, there's no way he knows who John Moreland is. There's just no way. That's way too.
No way.
And and he goes, it's John Moreland. And I was like, I wish I had a camera on me. I'm like, dude, you don't realize like you found like some people, like there'll be bands that like artists, they're like artist bands. They're not wildly commercially successful, but like if you ask like a super famous person who their favorite band is, that's the band. And you'd be like, well, why aren't they bigger? Like, well, they're an artist type. I don't really know how to.
They're like a songwriter for songwriters. They're not a
Yeah,
songwriter for people. It's weird, but
yeah. I don't
like
want to explain it.
everybody I listen to is that way, and that's I mean everybody that asks me like, "What do you listen to?" I'm like, if you don't know John Moreland, you don't know the way songwriting is meant to be. Like that's that guy. I mean, he doesn't have an insane voice. Like it's raspy and it's there, but like he doesn't need to have like Teddy Swim's voice. He needs to have John Moreland's voice because it cuts and it says the things it needs to. And
Yeah,
like all the artists I hang out with, I'm like, I want to write like a songwriter song. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, I want to write something like John Moreland. Like I want to write something that really hits. And some of them will be confused. Some of them know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's how I know if I'm in a good co-write. I'm like, do you know John Moreland? It's like one of my first questions. Do you know American Aquarium? Do you know Shane Smith? Okay, we're probably gonna have a good write. You know, it's funny how I can tell before we start writing how it's gonna go.
yeah. That's like a. It's kind of like you interviewing the people you're like,
Right, right, right.
because
Yeah,
it. If people know those names, you definitely know like you're dealing with someone that likes what you're doing, likes music that like means something. Like
yeah.
I love that song, Monsters. That's a cool song, and
Yeah, I that was the first song I ever wrote. I wrote
Like,
that when I was 12 years old.
damn.
And my parents, I tell the story on stage. I'm like, I was 12 years old when I wrote this song, and my parents, I think they thought I needed therapy when I wrote it because like that song deep. Like, I didn't play that song for probably 2 years after I wrote it. I wrote it and played it, and I was like, I didn't love it. And then I got older, and I'm like, I realized what the song was saying. Because sometimes I'll write something, I don't realize quite what it says, but I know it's saying something. And then I live like a certain experience or something. That song, all of a sudden, I wake up and it speaks to me. And I was playing Monsters one day. I was like, man, we were getting ready to go record in the studio, and I was like, I think we should put it on there just because it's the first song I ever wrote. And then we recorded it, and I heard the band, Dave Smith, we recorded with. He put the band on it, and he got all the stuff the way it needed to be. And um, like the hearing it after the album came out, I think it became one of my favorites.
Yeah. Uh, on your album, the one line on the deed, reaching for his whiskey was his last move. I love that line.
Yeah, that was actually a cover. A lot of people don't know that. That
Yeah,
was
I
a
was.
guy, a local guy. Yeah, so Dylan Stewart wrote that song. He's a local. I mean, everybody in Oklahoma that's an artist knows Dylan. He runs around with that crew over that like Stillwater. That he ran around with the McClure crew for a while, I think, um, and still does when they come in through town. But I was sitting there, I was like, it would be really cool. I'd started playing it already. I like the song. I love the song,
Yeah.
and I mean I've been. He used to come play my grandparents' pool hall, so I was listening to that song when I was 5 years old, and then flash forward 10 years later, and I'm recording an album, and it came down to okay, let's put a cover on. I was like, I think the deed would be cool, and I really like the way it turned out. I love that song.
Oh, dude, it's got a cool dark vibe to it, and like I went I went and I saw the you can look at the credits. And I was like, oh, interesting. I wonder what the story is behind this song. That's wild that it's you've been listening to it for that long, and it's gotta be cool to like go in and do your version of a song like
Yeah,
that.
and I look at how cool it is for me, and I'm like, I wonder how cool it is for Dylan to look at like what the song's doing, because you like when you write a song, you put it out. I mean, this was 10, 15 years ago. He put the song out. I mean, like it kind of runs its course, and then it either goes well and people keep wanting to hear it, or it kind of flatlines. I think it's one of my favorite songs, but I don't know if it's other people's favorites. And so I think for him to see it come to the light in the top of the day again was probably really cool, especially to see all the fans of ours that, I mean, they come to shows being like, are we going to hear the deed? Are we going to hear the deed? And I'm like, absolutely, you're going to hear the deed. It's going to be in the live show. So I think it's really cool. I've told him, we've talked about it, that all these people are trying to hear his music now because of it.
That's cool. It is nice when it covers do resurrect songs. And it had me interested of the the original of hearing it. But yeah, and TikTok, like if somebody starts like something like with a sound and it becomes a trend, like watching with Caitlin Butts, her song right
Yeah,
now.
ain't gotta die to be. Yeah, it's everywhere,
Yeah,
everywhere.
it's incredible because like that was from a year ago, and man, it's so cool. Like
Yeah, it and like you said, like that's from a year ago. Why is it like? Because when we know music releases, we know when it happens. We listen to the album, like, okay, this is a killer song.
hmm
And then like a year and a half later, all these people are like, oh my gosh, have you heard this song? And you're like, I was trying to show you this song when it came out, and you did not care. But
yeah,
now that it's all over TikTok, you guys all of a sudden want to hang out with it, and you want to sing it. And it's like it's that how it is,
yeah,
introducing people to famous people before they're famous. It's like I told you to hop on the train, and here you are.
Yeah,
Like, you should probably listen to me more.
it's wild. Yeah, like
Because I grew up with Caitlin. Caitlin played my grandparents' pool hall. I mean, she used to come in and play. She
that's
lived. She
incredible.
lived in Tulsa. I mean, like, but we're talking back when she was Katie Butts. I mean, like 15 years ago, and so like it's cool. It's really cool to see that she's like the country Chapel Roan. Like she's like everybody wants to be here now, and it's really cool. I like that a lot for her.
Yeah, Dosh, she's an incredible voice. I couldn't believe like, man, I watched her do like a side stage at Mile Zero and saw her do the amp, and it was just to perform at that intensity and not have like a chip on her voice or anything and just send it. I was like, wow, that's amazing. Because I know like, man, like I don't know, like vocal cords are fragile. They need to be taken care of. And when you're given 100%, man, like you just never know. Because I know some people that, man, they got some polyps on their, and it was like either get the surgery and then you can't talk, or you just it's not worth it to some people. That you could potentially really damage your voice. But like, yeah,
Hmm.
yes, her whole show was just from the guys wearing the outfits and just the intensity and just the talent is outstanding. And dude, that's nuts. That here you are as a kid, and I
Yeah,
couldn't imagine like like everybody on the channel that I always like my favorites, and man, I couldn't imagine. I hope I would have the the instead of like being like a kid, like that's not cool, that's not cool. I hope I would know what I was seeing. Like maybe it came at a good time for me, because if it wasn't like super heavy distorted guitars, and now I love like Fender Twin, that chimey twangy tone, and like all that chicken picking. I don't think I was ready for that, but man, you've been jealous right now. I couldn't
that's what I
imagine.
bleed. That's what I bleed, man. That's what I bleed. I mean, Mike and the Moon Pies. They used to come and play every other month.
That's nuts,
Um,
dude. That's
Zane Williams. I remember Zane Williams came through and played full band for I think $400.
that's crazy.
Um, and I'm like, but and that he's another one I'm probably on my Rushmore. I got to hang out with him in Steamboat this year quite a bit. Um, and like we look back on like like you played. He's like, I remember. He's like, and we went and had dinner that night, and we all ate together after that show, and we all like the stories that I'm like, there's surely they don't, because it's either an artist either really knows who you are from 10 years ago, or they're like, I have no clue what happened that night. But Zane's always been like, oh yeah, that we did this and this, and yeah, man, dude, how's everybody been? How's the pool hall going? Like those people are always really cool to me,
Yeah.
because they and now they're hearing our music and they're like, okay, I'm the reason you're doing this, kid. They always give that like that little chip on. They put a little bonus point on above their head, because they're like, well, you're doing what you're doing because of me. Congrats.
You're welcome. That's
Right?
funny. The last time I was down in Texas for the Troubadour Festival, I got to see the Wilder Blue, and
Incredible.
dude, their banjo player, I was like, man, this guy's awesome. Then he picks up like a resonator or dobro, and I'm like, oh
Mhm.
man, it's so as an
Yeah,
artist,
their band's great.
yeah. Oh, they have like their their rhythm skills are out of this world, and the harmonies, and like, because man, like them, it was like them and Shane Smith and the Saints. Man, if you were a fan of harmonies, my God, you cannot go wrong with those guys. It's
No,
incredible. It's
and the Wilder Blues stuff's amazing, but my favorite stuff was Zane Williams.
yeah,
Little Too Late. I mean, Jayton and Jill. Um, he had so many songs that like I'll bring up on a day to day basis, and like, oh yeah, I know Zane. Like, I love the Wilder Blue, and I'm like, hold on, You like the Wilder Blue. You don't. Zane Williams is a whole different. It's a different ball game. Zane Williams is. I mean that first. I mean he had Pablo Maria. That messed. I mean, it's impeccable, and he's still. They'll do like the acoustic thing where the band will leave for a minute, and Zane will do a song or two of his. And I remember in Steamboat this year he did Pablo Maria, and like the people wouldn't shut up because I think that like they didn't know it because it wasn't a Wilder blues song per se. I was like, y'all shut up! Like this is where all this started.
Yeah.
Like this is what I grew up 4-year old me I sat down and listened to. Like, um, but yeah, that I love that group. The good people.
Yeah. So much talent. That's they opened up, and I was like, wow. And I was like, man, I
I
hate to
feel bad for. Yeah, I feel bad for
follow
us to
that.
follow them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's not jealousy. Like you're almost like mad at yourself. You're like, why can't you do that? When you and you always know,
Right. Like
you always
I'm
know an
sitting here.
artist when they're staring at you. You're like, oh, there's a musician, and I must be doing well because he
Mhm.
doesn't look happy.
Yeah, my dad saw Shane and them at it was the Blues house, the House of Blues, and I think Dallas. I think they were opening up for like Corey Morrow, and he was like, I felt awful for Corey that night because like how you can't follow those guys. Like that's a closer, like and I understand festival wise, but like being on the road with people like that must be tough. Cause like I'm sitting here looking like who can we play at? I'm like, because the Teague brothers, I'm like, I don't want to play after them. Like we did our album release and they came down open for us. And I was like, I was upset with how it went because I was like, I was actually hoping that they would play after us as like an after party. And it was like, nah, man, we'll play before y'all. It's not a big deal. And they're one of my other bands that like aren't famous but should be list. They're on that list. Teague Brothers band for sure.
Yeah, dude. I just had John on, and yeah, I got to do more for that new album. It's just
We're
been so
doing
busy.
we're doing acoustic run. We're doing acoustic run with them. Me, him, and Jeff Canada are all three. We're going up to Wisconsin. We're doing Minnesota, and Illinois. Um, yeah, Indiana too. We're doing India. So yeah, we're going up September. It's going to be the week before Born and Raised, because I know we're coming back, and then I go straight to Pryor for that festival. So
Nice, and that festival
yeah,
always has great lineups.
oh, it's phenomenal this year. Love
Oh,
it.
really? I got to check out the lineup. But
It's going to be a good one. We're playing Saturday with Parker. It's like Parker. Um, I know Hudson Westbrook plays our day as well. Like Gavin Adcock, some other guys. I think Randy Rogers might be our day as well. Like I think our days. Braxton Keats on our day. Shelby Stone's on our day. Um,
nice.
Mike McClure doesn't play that day. There's some others, but like the day-to-day lineup, like I'm going the entire festival just so I could go hang out and watch because that's that's my goal as an artist is to get to do that at all the festivals. Is like I get to play them, but now I get to go like see them because I have my whole week blocked off for the festival. I got a pass where I could go wherever I want, and I don't have to deal with crowds because I've gotten to be my dad calls me a diva, but I don't like. I see that like. Have you seen Cook's Garage crowds? They're just like massive stadium crowds that like I can't imagine being in the middle of it.
Yeah,
I have to be like on the rail or by a wall, lean it. Like I can't just stand for like 2 hours, like 4 hours of a show. I just can't. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I like. I have to go. I'll go find a seat in the back of the room, watch the show. The sound's great from back there, or I'll be side stage, and that's
yeah,
usually just like where I prefer to be.
yeah. 100%. I like. Do you know who Matt Westerman is?
Oh, I know, man. Yes, I do. Oh yeah, front rower don't go. Front rower. Don't. I'm
Yeah,
like, I don't.
dude.
I can't do that, man.
I would need to be like counseled by a CIA agent on how to deal with torture because like I'm the same. Like when we were at Texas Motor Speedway.
Lots of alcohol.
Yeah,
Lots of alcohol.
yeah, we're just
That's what helps.
yeah, for him.
That does it. Just throw
Oh
them back. You'll be fine.
yeah, dude, that probably be the only way. But then like I'd have to go to the bathroom every 15 minutes. It's such a commitment. And like at Texas with Zach Bryan, when that crowd surged, I was like, nope, I cannot be here right now. So I went to the back and
Yeah.
just watched.
Yeah,
And
I think I saw you. We were walking around back there. We went to like the little food place, got some tacos or something. Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
and like you said, like being up front, I don't think it sounds as well. Like especially if you're behind a guy or in front of a guy. I tend to gravitate towards the guitar player, and then if they're playing stage like with actual amps, it can really mess the mix up. Where I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna go get the full front of house sound out, which I would
Yeah.
love to know his opinion on that because he's
Yeah. Well, and I know their front of house guy, Tyler. I mean, like the sound's always better where the sound guy is because that's where they're mixing it from usually.
yeah,
Um,
that's a great point.
but like it's funny, we'll be hanging out at festivals and I'll usually have a friend that's like new on the scene or like one of my new friends and we're hanging out, we're backstage passes and we're watching a show and we were watching 49 play and they were getting ready to go on. I'm like, oh, they use in-ears. I'm going to go front so I can hear. And they're like, what? I mean, we're side stage. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're going to go out? I'm like, I can't. Like, they don't have stage volume.
Yeah.
Like, if they're using in-ear monitors, they don't run amp or speakers on stage. So, like, you can't hear anything from, like, side stage when they run in-ears. And they're like, no way, you're not going to stay side stage. I'm like, I can come back. Like, I have a pack. Like, I could be here whenever I want. Like, it's not like, but these guys are insane. And that exact show, we have followed them. We were at a festival in Conroe, Texas called Biggest Texas. And 3 nights before that, we were at the second time Shane played Red Rocks, last year's Red Rocks show. And it was Hayes, 49, then Shane. And I mean, 49 played to a sold out Red Rocks amphitheater. Nuts. 3 days later, they played at Conroe at a 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock slot to like maybe 50 people, if that were there. And it was rainy, so there was even less people there because of it. And I mean, like, we were talking after the show. I'm like, they're like, that's how it always is. You'll play the biggest show of your life, and then the next show will be the worst thing you've ever seen. And like they're like it happens to everybody, apparently. Like so, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things to look forward to. You know, it keeps everybody humble in the scene, for sure. Knowing that like all this can be great, and then the next day it like sucks again. Like you're back at the grind. So it's always humbling to know that even though we're doing well here, it's like okay, there's still a lot of work to do.
Yeah. It's just the roller coaster, that adrenaline, and then to have that, it's like if you've never done it, you just never know the feeling. But man, it's like
it sucks. It's so bad. It's like I said, like we played in Wisconsin. I mean, there had to be 3,000 people at Bratfest out there. We played. It was. Do you know Quad City DJs? They're the people that did Space Jam, and then they did Ride This Train. They did for the movie Space Jam. They did It's the Space Jam. They did that song. Anyway, they played, and then we played, and then Steven Adler played from Guns N' Roses. Steven Adler, the drummer. And if you get a chance to see him, impeccable show. They sound better than Guns N' Roses. I mean, seriously, insane. Steven plays drums for the band, and it's an incredible show. But we were snugged in between these two. It's like these DJs and then us and then Steven Adler. And it's like, okay, this day is insane. It's a great show. We got off stage, okay. And then the next show I came back home and played acoustic. Like I couldn't hear myself over the amp. Like people could care less about what I just did. So it's like, okay, this is fun.
Yeah. Oh,
It's like the house is on fire, but you just got to sit there and deal with it, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
So, like, growing up, and was there anyone like any artist that you just like called like uncle? You know, just to make sure that like
Uh,
I'm gonna tag my name on you, and so I can
Funny
say,
enough, Tanner posts, I've claimed Tanner as my father. It's my adopted father. Because we were joking around one day. And now, like, when I'll repost, like, his album stuff, he'll, like, repost my repost and go, like, thanks, son, in the caption. It's funny. But I have that going. Taylor Honeycutt's, like, my road mom. I joke about her and Josh being, like, my road parents everywhere we go. And there's some other, I mean, BJ did a private show for us, and he's like, dude, you're way cooler than my family. Like, can I adopt you? Like, you're mine now. And I'm like, okay, take me. I'm like, sorry, mom, I'm going BJ. Like, but yeah, man, like it is funny because like legally I could still get adopted by these people, but like I'd be like, hey, we could be like a family band. Like, just adopt me and I'll be on the road. I'll guitar tech for you. I don't know anything, but I'll guitar tech for you.
yeah,
It'll be fine.
I'm sure there's tax
So
write offs too.
yeah, yeah. Like
That's
Shane,
funny.
I'm like Shane. We already have the same name. We don't have to change anything. Like I'm a Smith, you're Smith. It works perfect. Like we don't. Um, I call him Uncle Shane. I do call Shane Uncle Shane on the road.
There you go.
Um, and it makes him laugh. But he told the story in Idaho, when we did Highway 30 out there that like we did a song together at the Whiskey Riff after party, and he he's like, dude, this kid has been coming to shows since he like points down to his knees. He's like, he was this tall. He's like, he was screaming back all the words, and now he's looking up to me because Shane's not super tall.
Yeah,
And he's like looking up at me. He's like, now he's this tall, and he's got his own music. Y'all should go check him out. And it was a really like I'll remember that forever moment. Like
yeah,
him talking about me, um, as if we were family. Like that gratitude is incredible.
yeah,
He doesn't Shane doesn't understand how famous he is, kind of thing. Like he didn't have to do that at
yeah.
all. But we did Hurricane, then we did Poncho Lefty, and we've done other shows with doing like parties with him, and they'll always come hang out, and he'll do a song with us, and it's incredible. I really like that crew.
Yeah, yeah. There, there's. It's funny. I saw Shane and Chase came up. Hey, man, how's it going? I'm like, yeah, pretty good. Yeah, we talked, had a little talk, and this girl was like, "Who are you?" I was like, honestly, nobody. I don't know. The guy just really likes their music and try to get other people to like their music, and they're like, "Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Can you introduce me?" I'm like, just walk up to him. Just go, "Hey, man, you're a great bass player." Who wouldn't want to hear that? You know, like they're
yeah. Fuel that ego. Fuel that ego.
the
Yeah.
the bass players, they need it. All the, like,
Yeah, not Chase, dude. He's ripped. They don't look at Chase playing bass and go, "Oh, he's a good bass player." They go, "Dude, that guy's jacked."
yeah.
Same with Bill Corbin.
Oh yeah.
Same with Bill Corbin. They're like, "Oh yeah, that's the like jacked bodybuilder that's got like two Pomeranians that he carries around everywhere." It's great. It's hilarious.
Those dogs, man. I love when he
I
does like the
love it.
photo dump, and they're wild. I'm like, man.
They are. I've seen them. Yeah, I mean, we stayed at his house that night. We hung out at we had dinner at that place. And then we went to y'all had that little party going on. And I couldn't come because it was a bar, and I'm not bar age.
Yeah, that was weird because
So
you were there last time. I guess.
I was there the last time. It was a weird thing. The owner came out and she was like, "No, you can't come in." And I was like, "Well, okay." She's like, we've had an artist before come here and try to play. They were booked, and they couldn't play here because they weren't old enough." And I'm like, "Hold on, what?" She's like, "Yeah, the artist couldn't play here because they weren't old enough." I'm like, "But you booked them." They're like, "Yeah, but we didn't know how old they were when we booked them." I'm like, "But you know that they can play here, like it's legally allowed if you would."
Yeah.
Look at the paperwork they have. I'm sure because I have the paperwork. I can play anywhere except for like Indiana. I can't play the bars in Indiana or casinos or anything because they're all 21 up, like
Yeah.
strict about it. And I know that from playing pool because there were pool tournaments up there I could never go to. The Derby City Classic's like a huge, huge pool tournament, like one of the biggest there is. But like I could never get to go because it was always in a casino and I couldn't get in. But I'm sitting there, I'm like, so wait a minute, you just didn't let them come play. Like you can do that. And she's like, well, artists like you don't that have an ego aren't gonna ever make it anywhere. And I'm like, what is happening? I'm standing there with fans from Fort Worth that were there to hang out, and they're like, does she know who she's taught? Like, I'm like, I don't even care, but like, this is just amusing to me that they don't understand that you don't have to be 21 to do certain things if you're working. Like, it's a job. It's not like a hobby, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
So
That's a
that was
great.
funny. That happened that night. And we drove back home that night. We got home at like 4 in the morning. That was good. That was a good night. I enjoyed that night.
Yeah, yeah. We're doing it again. I believe at the Rhinestone Saloon this time around.
I could probably get in there. I know Chris. I've played there a bunch. So
Yeah,
when are y'all going, man?
uh,
We need to hang out.
yeah. I don't.
We'll get it.
I'm not. It's in October, so
Okay. Yeah,
I
yeah,
know
for
that
sure.
much. But
Oh, I don't know. I think we're going to the UK in October. I think we're doing a London run. Um, that's not. We're working on it. I don't know if it will happen or not yet,
dude,
but
that's
I hope it works. That'll be fun.
oh, dude, that man, dude, it's incredible. You know, 17. You're seeing the world over. Like, did you ever think
Yeah.
like when you're watching all these people play that like one day that'll be you? Like,
That I mean that's the thing is like I've grown up with the artists when they were nobodies and now I see them now that they're somebodies and I know what they did. They just worked hard and on the road and they
yeah,
did it. Like there's no other way to do it. When they were blowing up, it wasn't because of TikTok because it wasn't around yet. It was more because they were building fan bases and CDs were still a thing. And you
yeah,
listened to CDs in your car and you showed your friends your CD and you let them borrow that so they could hear this artist that they couldn't hear anywhere else. But like and so it's it's like this feeling of knowing that it's it's happening. Like there's no secret switch that we flip to make it popular. You know, it's just I either write good songs one day or I don't, and people either like them or they don't. And I've been very very lucky that people have cared enough about us to go check it out, check out the music.
yeah, dude. Talking with Jeff Canada, like he wants his fans to to be fans, to love his music. He wants to love them, and I think that's a great way to do. And like what Cody Jinks and BJ would say, no one can outwork us. No one can put more miles,
Mhm.
do more shows, and that like, and people see that, and man, it does make a huge difference. It's like you'll get a reputation. You'll be like, oh, Ty Smith, he's like the hardest working guy in country music right now, trying to get it out there, trying to do that, and you're not in front of the circle light, just hoping something catches, and do the leapfrog thing, and
Yeah, and it's a good spot for me because guys like the other Ty Myers is out there. I mean, he's my age. I mean, look at what he's doing right now. That's insane.
yeah,
You know, guys like Hudson, they're just 20. I think Hudson's like 22, and he's
yeah,
like sold out Billy Bob's doing all this. I'm like, dude, that's incredible.
yeah,
But I'm also sitting here looking at it like, okay, I know how the music business works. How long is that going to last? How long? Because we don't have an answer how long TikTok fame lasts. We know
exactly,
that Twitter and TikTok and all this stuff helped Zach, and he's still huge. But like, how does it work for artists that don't get to the stadium level, right? So I'm sitting there thinking, man, it would be great to be that big, but I'm also like, okay, I think I'd also rather build my fans organically. Um, not that there wasn't anything organic, but like I want to go meet them, shake their hand, every single fan.
yeah,
Um, because I know that if I can do that and I can meet them and talk to them and have dinner with them if they want to go have dinner, um, I know that we have a fan for life, and that if we go back there 100 times, that we will have a new fan for life, and then eventually we'll have 250 fans there every show, and then we'll have 400 because they bring all their friends, and it's just like this. The way that BJ described, like you just got to go do it.
Yeah.
Like you can't sit around and wait for it.
Yeah, dude, 100%. And like, and if you have a show a couple hours out, they're gonna be getting hotels and going to see it and making the treks out there. Because yeah, like the bands that I find, like, man, I'll drive. I've been going to Virginia to see bands and whatnot, because it always seems like they go to like Richmond and then they jump over and might do something up north. But it's like, I have to take shows like as I get them, because hardly a lot of people come up to the Northeast. But hopefully people start listening to the music and really get it, because I think there's a very large portion of people that they would love your music, they just haven't heard it yet. Is
Yeah, and that's the thing that like what you do is so cool is like you. I was looking back on one of the posts the other day that you reacted to one of our songs, and we had like 10 people comment, "Awesome, we've never heard of this guy before. He sounds great." I'm like, there's so many people out there that would love us if they could just have a chance to hear us.
yeah,
And then there's 20 good comments. I still talk about this today. There's a comment somewhere on one of the posts. It was to words I should have said, and some guy was like, "This guy's like he's like Dwight Yoakam, or he's like an off-time Dwight Yoakam or something funny." And I'm like, we played to a click track, so I know it's not off time per se, but like, what is going on? But like I like those comments because I get to laugh and go, you know what? I'm gonna work hard one day, and then those people are gonna laugh about it. They're
yeah,
like it's just I love that drive it gives me to go write another song. Because you may not like words I should have said, you may not like Lost and Found, but you may also like Don't Tear Me Apart, or you might like Monsters.
yeah,
And if those aren't your speed, in another town, and or The Deed or Wonderland, like if you like steel guitar, you should go listen to The Deed. It's got some cool steel in there. If you like fiddle, go listen to Wonderland. It's got a crazy fiddle part. Like it's just what people like. You can't just listen to one song and say, okay, I don't like any of this guy's stuff. Like our range of fans like can be so wide with what we do. If we could just get it to people, they would. I think they'd love it.
dude, absolutely. I feel the same way as well. Because like I always say, like there's got to be thousands, millions of people just like walking around like me. Like when you said country music, I'd be like, no, I don't like, and it's like nothing like that. Like what you're doing
Mhm.
and everything. Like I used to not like the steel guitar, because like in the radio world, it's just there because it's just there, and I always felt like it was like just washing out the cymbal sounds, and it didn't like play the song. It was just like there because here's the formula, and boom, boom, boom. We're gonna put this in the machine, and we're gonna make money. We're gonna print money, and man, hearing it like I always back to BJ again, American Aquarium. I was like watching him play. I was like, oh my god, I don't want to leave, because normally I'd see someone bring out a pedal steel. I'm like, nope. But man, when he was playing it, and then like I get why they call it the crying machine. Like it just can. As a guitar player, you figure I would have loved it. And I love Delta blues. I love slide. I love all that, and it just never connected. And man, seeing American Aquarium, man, that changed my
Yeah,
love.
watching Shane play. I mean,
Oh,
Shane is nuts. I mean, on top of because like you look at him and like there's better musicians of what they do. But the group they have when they put all of them together in that same spot is impeccable. There's no other like it's not even like it's a crazy steel guitar, it's a crazy piano solo, there's a crazy drum solo. Like they're all just so tight in playing their part. Like it's so good at what they do. Like
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah. And what also was cool, like we got to see Bill Corbin play with American Cram in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah, at Highway. Yeah, I was there,
yeah.
and I didn't know Bill. I didn't know Bill at the time, and I was like, who's this guy?" I'm like, "That's not all of them." I'm like, who's this guy? Like, did he eat him? Like, what happened? It's,
He's just
you know,
bullied
'cause
his way onto the stage. Look at me, I
if
play
y'all
bass
don't
now.
know Bill Corbin, you have to go to understand what we're talking. You have to go online and go Bill Corbin on Instagram, anywhere.
Yeah.
He's huge. He's a jack dude. One of the sweetest guys I've ever met.
Yeah.
Um,
If He-Man played
and
bass.
but yeah, I was like, who is he? And then I played John's family Christmas party back when it was in Winnie, Texas, and I was hanging out before the show, and we started talking with Bill. And he's like, "Yeah, I used to play for American Aquarium. I just did a show with them at Highway 30." I'm like, "That was you." I'm like, I was side stage watching you the whole time." Like, yeah, that guy that was fangirling on stage with you, that was me. Sorry, you know. But
That's funny.
yeah. And so it's funny that like all the people you meet, you eventually meet again, and it's like you look back on the memories that you didn't even know you were there together, kind of thing, you know.
Yeah. Now, everything comes back full circle. That's funny. That's cool. We've been talking for like an hour and a half. Did we miss anything, or because I know you have a new album coming out soon, right?
New project. We're working on the next album. The new single's dropping July 4th, Six
Nice.
Feet of Dirt. I wrote that with my buddy Mark Powell. He runs Outlaws and Legends in Abilene, Texas. And we wrote that about kind of the legends of music. It's more honky tonk twangy. It's about the legends that passed that left a little meat on the bone for us guys to kind of gnaw on for a while. And I brought him the idea, and he was like, "Dude, we got to write this song." And he was like, "Man, we were playing around with the idea of like eating crow and drinking corn ain't worth 6 feet of dirt." Because you know that's how all the legends passed, and so we put it in a song, and it's coming out July 4th. And then if I Still Had You's coming out, I believe August 1st. I think that's the release date on the next. So we got one coming out right after that. Um, and yeah, I'm really proud of those two songs. 6 Feet is one of my favorites. Mark wrote with Dean Dillon for years and toured with Dean. And if anybody knows the name Dean Dillon, you know that's a big thing. And a month or two after we wrote that song, he texted me. He's like, "Dude, I think that might be one of the favorite songs I've ever written." And so for him to be on that kind of level with Dean Dillon and those guys and say that stuff is really cool. So I'm excited for the rest of the world to get to hear it.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited to hear it as well because like your last album, there's not a bad song on it, and it's cool that there's a lot of older artists that are like scared to drop albums, and here you are just putting one out.
Well,
Because
we don't know how any of it works. We're like, let's just put it out. What could it hurt? Oh well, it doesn't do. It's our first album. So what?
yeah,
I mean, if it doesn't do well, like, cool. We still did it,
yeah,
you know. And yeah, we're working on the next who we're gonna have produce the next album. We're currently throwing ideas around, and I'm excited to kind of get to see how it goes. I'm ready to start working on the next one.
nice. Dude, it's an incredible story. And it's really cool because like the people that become fans now, man, they're gonna like not per se like watch you grow up, but like just what's Ty gonna do next, man? That's
Yeah,
because
I'm
you're just
wondering
really
what I'm
talented.
gonna do next.
Yeah,
I know
right.
they don't know because I don't know. But like I'm at the point where I'm starting to change keys of the songs because my voice has changed. Um, and that's kind of funny to me. I'm sitting here going, okay, I used to be really comfortable singing this song. Why can I not sing this song anymore?
Yeah, you can move that
So
capo.
yeah, I gotta move that. I took one of them just off. I'm like, I'm done. It's easier to sing this way. I'm gonna sing it this way.
Yeah,
'Cause, like on the road when you're doing 5 shows at a time, I mean it's wild. So
yeah, and
um,
it
we picked up management this year. That was huge for us.
yeah,
We're with Trent Cowie's manager as well, uh, Confedo Artist Management, and I could not be happier. Everybody's like, you don't need it when you're starting out. You don't need a manager. You don't need this. You don't need this. A manager's not going to do much for you. You need this. Is a good. The problem with managers in the business, I don't know how much. I mean, you know all about it, but the problem with managers in the business is my uncle could be a manager. Anybody and their dog can be a manager, and that's why it gets such a bad rap for managements because like they've such a bad reputation of just not doing much for an artist, or just being there to take money from them. But we found, I mean, man, Confedo, they're another unit, man. It's wild, um, and I couldn't be happier. Like a good manager should know enough people to, first of all, get you where you need to be, put you in front of the right people. Good management will, I mean, if you don't have a good booking agent yet, they'll put you in the spot to try to go get a new booking agent or a good booking agency to help. And um, these are all things we're still learning at our point because nobody's walked us through this part.
yeah,
Um, so, I mean, but like, I've always thought of like, you don't need a manager, but like, if you have a good one, they make life so much easier. Like, seriously, like, you still got to do all the work, but at least you know now that like all this work I'm doing is the right kind of work and I'm not just in the dark about it, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, definitely. And having that experience helps as well, and just the knowledge, you know, is priceless.
Yeah. Well, Jason Eady came to our show at Bucks in Nebraska, and we were talking because our manager used to manage him. He's like, um, because we were joking around. I was like, I'll have my guys reach out to your guys, and they'll talk, and we'll hang out sometime. And I was like, actually, you know my guys. And he's like, oh, I'm like Mike. I'm like, you know Mike Williams. He's like, I don't. I'm like Mike Williams. He's like, the only Mike Williams I know is from like Bernie, Texas. He used to be my man. I'm like, you know my Mike Williams, and so it was a funny part, but yeah, he kind of got out of management for a while. He used to manage a bunch of big guys, and he does a lot of stuff. Got out of management for a while and kind of kicked back into it. They were with the Hoosier brothers for a while, and now they just got me and Trent Cowie. So yeah, I've been having a blast working with them. I love it a lot. It's
Nice.
truly made life a blessing having good management on your side.
Yeah, because it's it's hard to stay happy all the time. And crowds will know. And man, like the business side can just eat you up. It's
Yeah.
it's so much.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, we don't have to be the bad guys. We get to be the good guys everywhere we go. Because
Yeah,
when you're your own manager, you have to be able to put your foot down. But now it's like, okay, this is going to happen, and whatever happens, happens now. It's out of our hands,
yeah,
and
like,
that's also good.
yeah. I don't know why
Yeah,
he sees that. He
they're
said
like,
that
what?
to you.
Yeah, like I didn't do that. No, not my problem. Sorry.
Yeah, dude, I know. It's
But
it's so nice to have that buffer.
so yeah, man. But dude, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it so much. I
Yeah,
love talking. Like seriously, all the people need to go watch all the other episodes because the first time I actually watched this podcast, I think was with John. Um, and I mean, I know I keep up with all the podcasts and I watch them all, and I'm really excited to go back and listen to all the dumb stuff I've said during this one. So I've tend to do that.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, I love what you do for artists. It's great.
Hey, that I love the music you guys make. I, it's a, it's definitely, man. It's a great relationship, and I love how like everybody's just so nice and so cool. Like I could find like a new favorite band, and you can be like, oh yeah, those guys are great, and I love that. I love doing the podcast because you get to learn more, and people get to see that. You know what I mean? Like when I sat down with some of these like some of these people like who I would have no business sitting with, and they're like, "Hey, man,
Yeah,
let's
guys
just
from like Treaty Oak and them. Yeah,
yeah, let's
like I
just
mean,
talk." Okay.
it, I love that. I love
Yeah.
it so much, man.
It,
And it like, and the scene's adopted you. Like, how is that? I've wanted to ask that for like, how does that feel? That like everybody is like, yeah, that's Pat. Like he's part of our crew now. Like he's cool.
it, it, it's funny. Like people ask, like, do you have a lot of followers? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, do you get recognized? I was like, not here. I was like, I can go to Texas and people will come up. And what's cool is some and an older couple came up to me, and I just remember like, oh, you're not really the demographic for TikTok, but either am I. And they were like, yeah, thank you so much. And here was the parents of an artist, and I was like, dude, this is so cool that like they supporting their son, and they know it's just nice that like people, because like to me, like people tell me like you don't know how cool it is like when we load up TikTok and you do one of our songs, and I'm like, I really have no idea. I was like, does it give you street
It is so cool.
does it give you street
I
cred?
get to brag about it to all the local guys. All the local guys in the scene are like, "Oh, Patrick did a Ty song. Oh, big whoop," because they know that I'm going to talk about it next time. Next, because like we hold that grudge, dude. We're like, okay, but like, has Country versus Metal done one of your songs though? Like, dude, that's an instant argument winner.
That's
Instant.
funny. That's hilarious.
But yeah, I mean, like it's got to be so cool, man. Because like as an artist, like what you're doing is the Lord's work of like introducing this platform to just brand new people all the time. I mean, I go on your channel just to look for new artists. Like
Yeah.
that's something I do. And I wonder if other artists do that or not. But like I always go through there and I didn't even know the first time you did one of our songs. I was going through there and I found one. I was like, dude, he did it. Like, no way. You're wearing the shirt. I found different videos of you like you wearing the shirt. I'm like,
Oh, dude,
that's
that's my
like I
Nike
showed it
Life
to my
shirt.
parents and they freaked out. Yeah, I love so we don't make those anymore. So
Oh,
yeah, we don't
now I
make
gotta hang
that
dry it.
shirt anymore. Those are vintage. Yeah.
Yeah, when I wear that
But
out to a venue, everybody asks about where'd you get that shirt, and who's Ty Smith. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you, go listen to his music. But yeah, that shirt, people are definitely gonna watch you walk in, and if there's a black light or any type of light like that, you're definitely. I love wearing it to places like that.
yeah. Yeah, venue, yeah. I've seen some pictures, different people that are like in like a black light venue and that like it hits it, it just pops. Or
Yeah.
like
Oh,
go play laser tag with it on and like it pops in that room. Like it's so cool. It's so cool.
yeah, yeah, dude, it's great. It's definitely it's somebody is going to ask you about it if you're wearing one of your shirts, with a shirt like that, and it definitely drives engagement every time I wear it. So that was great
Yeah.
marketing.
That's cool. That's good to know. Yeah, we once we changed to the minor offenses, we kind of halted production on Ty Smith music shirts, obviously. And
Yeah,
maybe one day we'll see a vintage comeback, but probably not any day soon.
I hear you. But yeah, dude, thanks for hopping on, and yeah, like you said, you come out to the things in Texas and everything, and it's what a great story. It's so cool to think, there's just, and it also, for artists listening to this to know that like the the kids on the other end of that stage, you can really, really, you can change their lives. You can make people want to do this and have a future in music, and the you'll definitely remember those moments forever. And it's just so cool to like, because now like the people you're talking about, like I know now, so it's really cool that they've been that genuine and nice for that long. Just it's just great background. This is a really cool story, and it's not
Yeah.
it's not anywhere near the climax of it, because man, it, you got you got this much in you now. Who man, I'm excited to see all the stuff that you got coming out and everything. It's just cool.
Yeah, I got some cool ones on the back burner. Some new stuff that I I've kind of let it sit for a little while, and it's become some of my new favorite songs I've written. And so it's cool to look at like songs like "Words I Should Have Said." That the whole song's just it's wordy, it's quick, and it's got some really cool lines. And to know that like I'm to know that I'm able to top that and still do great songs and keep that level of good songwriting and know that it wasn't just like a fluke.
Yeah,
I'm excited for people to hear.
yeah, and man, the people are definitely excited to hear it, because I know I am as well.
Well, July 4th, July
Yep,
4th, mark it down,
mark it
mark
down.
it down. We're we got dates all over. Like I said, we'll be in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Indiana, um, in September, and then we'll be playing Born and Raised back here in Oklahoma. Um, we got some cool stuff we're working on. So just keep an eye out for us. Go follow us. It's the best way to know what we're doing.
And it with on what, like Ty Smith and the minoroffenses.com, or
Ty Smith on the minoroffenses.com. We don't currently have the dates up and running yet. I don't believe. Bands in Town is a great way to follow us too.
I
A lot
love
of
that.
people they don't know about Bands in Town. Bands in Town's amazing because I personally use it for everything. But you just go on there. If it's really good for people who don't like social media, that's who it's for. So if you don't want to sit there and follow your favorite bands to figure out when they're playing in your town or wait for the tour schedule, you go on Bands in Town. It's an app, and you go follow your artist that you like. And if they're playing within an X mile radius of your town, it sends you a notification like, "Hey, tickets are on sale now for this show. It's near you." And it's an amazing tool. It has all of our tour dates on there. So go follow us on Bands in Town. That's a great way to know. Um, Go check us out on TikTok. We're doing a lot more of vlog style stuff, like day in the life of. Um, there's like the last run we did. I got pelleted with donuts and they threw cheese at me from another car. Like it, you never know what's going to happen on there. TikTok's fun to go through and watch. But we have everything. I mean, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, all the fun stuff. So yeah,
Yep, there it is. So no reason not to know where you're at now. But yeah,
oh yeah, oh yeah,
but thanks for hopping on here, man. I know you're
dude,
probably
always.
busy, but yeah, it was cool talking to you. And yeah, hopefully down the road I get to hang out with you again.
Absolutely. We will see each other very soon. I have no doubt.
All right, looking forward to it, man. But yeah, man, you enjoy the rest of your night. And I tell your dad I
Dude,
said
thank you.
hello as well.
Pops, he says hello.
Hey,
Pops
I'm
says
sorry.
hi.
I didn't realize you were
Pops
done
says hi.
recording.
No, we're
Hey, man.
still. But no, yeah, man, thank you. We appreciate y'all for having us. We support. So thank y'all.
Yep. Thank you as well, dude. I'll talk to you.
Absolutely. We'll talk soon.
All right, man.
We'll talk very, very soon.
Look forward to it. All right.
There we go.